All right, hello everybody. Welcome. I'm gonna record this too, just like I record the other Zoom because yeah, super important. All right, and for anybody who isn't here. Um, all right, the diaphragmatic breath. What is that? All right, not the diaphragmatic breath. The core engagement. What is that? It's a mixture of a big, deep diaphragmatic breath, the lifting of your pelvic floor, and then the squeezing of your abdominal muscles. All right, they're like three different parts. I'm gonna talk through each part individually, then I'm gonna talk through how they flow together, and then we're gonna practice them. Okay, so first is the diaphragmatic breath. Naturally, I like to start people with putting their hands on their chest and their belly button. I want you to just breathe. If you notice that when you just breathe, normally that this hand right here moves more, those are not diaphragmatic breaths. Those are shallow breaths. Diaphragmatic breaths move the big hand or the hand connected to your stomach more. Okay, so a diaphragmatic breath will be drastic with the movement of the belly hand on the inhale. Okay, so when you breathe in and you fill your belly with air, you should your belly should expand outward, right? A lot of times people find that when I tell them to breathe in, they suck in too, and that's the opposite of what we want to do. We want when you breathe in the belly to fill up air and expand outward. So again, one more time. So belly fills with air. You should be able to really see the flexing or the feeling of air in the belly and out when you do a diaphragmatic breath. Okay. The movement starts with the diaphragmatic breath. Next, we move into a pelvic or like lifting of the pelvic floor. Um, this is more like a thought, and then you feel it over time, if that makes sense. So, the visual I always tell people is pretend like you're sitting on the floor, and there's a blueberry right there on the floor. Your vagina's a crane, and they got to drop down, pick up that blueberry, and then pull it up like it's pulling that blueberry up into your belly button, but from the inside. Okay. Um, so that visual. And people are always like Kegels, and I'm like, yeah. So you know how Kegels is just like the squeeze. I want you to think about pulling up as if you are taking that blueberry up inside you to your belly button, but from the inside. Okay. So the next portion is picking up your pelvic floor. Okay. Then the next portion will be the exhale. The pelvic floor pickup and the exhale are happening simultaneously. So at the same time. So at the same time that you're picking up the blueberry, you're breathing out all the air you just inhaled through your teeth. You're making the S sound, okay? And you're doing it forcefully. The reason you're making the S sound is to involuntarily contract your abdominals, okay? So you're gonna breathe in, fill belly with air. You pretend like you're picking up a blueberry with your hoo-ha to pick up your pelvic floor. At the same time, you're letting breath out through your teeth, making the S sound. And as you're letting that breath out, you should feel your stomach tighten up as you're letting all that air out. The way your core feels after you've let all the air out is the core in its engaged state. You want to be able to hold that squeeze and do a whole bunch of things. You want to be able to hold that squeeze and do movement. Hold that squeeze. Sorry, my throat got dry. You want to be able to hold that squeeze throughout the entire range of a movement, okay? That squeeze is your core in its engaged state, and you want to be able to do that often. Okay, I say that you should be engaging your core every day at some point, one way or another, right? Um, but yeah, so now let's walk through it by practicing, right? And I want you guys to see visuals, okay? Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the pelvic tuck. Actually, I didn't not forget. I like to teach the pelvic tuck while doing movement. So that's coming. But another piece of the engagement is the tuck. So while you are picking up the pelvic floor and breathing out, you tuck your pelvis. Naturally, our pelvis is sit kind of like with an anterior tilt, meaning like this, a curvature like this, a backward C. Whenever you engage, you want to tilt that pelvis forward so that you're in a neutral position or straight up. So you're gonna be naturally you here. Whenever you engage, you want to tilt forward. Okay. So let's go through all. Let's talk through it and move through it. All right. I'm gonna say inhale, fill belly with air. Pick up pelvic floor, breathe out through your teeth at the same time that you're picking up the blueberry with your hoo-ha. Now, hold the squeeze. After withholding that squeeze, you should be able to talk, do movement, and breathe, right? Shallow breaths, they don't have to be as deep, but you should be able to hold this squeeze while movement. This is your core in this engaged state. This right here is the major key part. Okay? Figuring out this part is the game changer. Doing this all the time is the game changer. And that's with everything that you do. I'm talking about anything. I don't care what kind of workouts you're doing. You need to understand how your core should be engaged in said workouts. Okay? Let's do it again. We're gonna inhale for belly with air. Pick up pelvic floor by pretending like you're picking up a blueberry with your hoo-ha as you breathe out through your teeth and tilt your pelvis forward. This is your core in this engaged state. You should be able to hold this. If you can't hold this for a long time at first, that's fine. That's normal. I've been practicing for a long, long time, years, and then I have to re-practice and relearn after each kid and each anything and trauma that you have, any type of setback that you have with fitness, you have to relearn. So don't worry, this is all a process. Now I want you guys to get on all fours. Boom, boom. I like to teach this on all fours as well, okay? You're on all fours. All right. We are going to breathe in and fill our belly with air. Naturally, right? Your back just sinks in. When I tell you to pick up your pelvic floor, like pretending like you're picking blueberry or high, breathe out through your teeth and tighten and flatten your back at the same time so you're tilting. So sorry y'all, I did a whole lot of talking and it felt very much so like, hold on, let me actually do this too. A whole lot of talking and then felt like I lost it. Anyways, so we're gonna breathe in, fill belly with air. Pretend like you're picking up blueberry with your hoo ha. Breathe out through your teeth. Tilt. This is your core in this engaged state on all fours, right? So there's a difference between doing bird dogs here with this squeeze in the lift, keeping the squeeze, dropping down, keeping the squeeze, dropping down even though you're breathing. There's a difference between that and then this, just lifting your legs, but no squeeze. You see that, or even if you can't see it, understand that there's a difference, right? There's a difference, and one is correct and one is wrong. One will get you results, and one will you're just gonna be doing movement, so you're gonna be still like burning calories, but one ain't gonna get you there. So there's a difference between relaxed this and then breathe in for belly with air, pick up pelvic floor, breathe out, tighten, tilt core floor. I mean hips forward, flat back, and then one you could just even feel the difference in the work. You're also gonna see, guys, that a lot of times in the things you're gonna hear me breathing out and you're gonna hear me tell you when to breathe out. I'll say, breathe out as you push up, breathe out as you lift up. A lot of times it's up because the breathe out part is on the what we call the concentric phase or the hard phase of the movement. Think about it like that. That's how you know if it's the right space. Is this the hard part where my body pushing against gravity? If so, that's probably where I should breathe out. Okay. But I'm also telling you, and so I want you guys to remember that. Do not be afraid to make the noise. I don't care where you at. Making the noise allows you to um engage that core even when you're not sure. So make the noise. It's super important. I'm not just telling you that for my health. Okay. On your back, naturally, when we lay down on our back, there's like this little gap right here, right? So y'all lay down on your back. There's a lot of back exercises, right? Glute bridges is just the first one that come to mind because we do it a lot. You're gonna breathe in, feel belly with air. Belly gets big. When you pick up pelvic floor, pretending like you're picking up a blueberry, you're gonna tuck your hips forward, and then you're going to breathe out, making that sound. This is nice and tight. I will say breathe out, lift. And then inhale as you drop down. Slight inhale, but keep the squeeze. Slight inhale, but keep the squeeze. Push through your heels. Slight inhale, but keep it squeezed. There's a difference between that and this. One is just working the glutes. One is working core and glutes. I want you guys to be efficient. Any movement is a core movement when you understand engagement, okay? Now let's talk about it from a standing place. So we've done on all fours. We've done flipping around like you're doing on your back. Now let's do it standing, okay? Because I'm gonna have you guys do it with squats or glute bridges or whatever. So we're gonna inhale, fill belly with air, pick up pelvic floor, breathe out through your teeth, and sound forcefully. I meant to turn to the side. So when you breathe in, fill belly with air, pick up pelvic floor, breathe out. You tuck now. You standing up straight, okay? I say let's do squats. You're gonna drop down, slight inhale, then exhale. Breathe out nice and tight, okay? Slight inhale, exhale. Good. Slight inhale, exhale. Okay. So even when you want to keep that squeeze on the bottom phase, even though you're inhaling, you just don't inhale deep. You don't let go of the engagement. You do a slight inhale. Okay. Let's do it with knee drives, okay? With the knee drive. Because that's something we do a lot. You're going to breathe in for belly with air. Pick up pelvic floor, breathe out through your teeth. Tilt your hips forward. So when I say pick up pelvic floor, that means pretend like you're picking up a blueberry with your hoo-ha, okay? Then you're going to breathe out and drive. Inhale. Out and drive. Inhale. Out and drive. Okay? I really hope this is making sense. If this is not making sense, please jump off of mute and let's yap about it, okay? um, so I'll talk through it one more time. I just like to do it till I'm blue in the face, okay? Let's do it again, and you can do it in any of them to those positions we talked about, okay? You're going to inhale, fill belly with air. Pretend like you're picking up a blueberry with your hoo-ha as you breathe out through your teeth and tilt your pelvis forward. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. That squeeze you got it in, hold that squeeze. Now try to say something. Okay? Hey, what are you doing? Anything. Say anything, but keep the squeeze. That's what you want to try to practice, okay? It's okay if you drop that squeeze often at first, even for a while, actually. It takes a long time to be able to hold the squeeze throughout a full range of a movement and then rest. So what I mean by full range of movement, if I say we got 10 squats, that means hold a squeeze for 10 rep counts. One. Even though we're inhaling and exhaling, never letting go of that base of the engagement, you know? So the belly may expand and tighten more, expand and tighten more, but after you set that first one, it just slightly expands and tightens. Slightly expands and tightens. It's not full like just it's just squeeze and slight inhale, exhale firmly like that. Okay. Yes. I think that about covers it, guys. I think that about covers it. Unless y'all got more questions or if it's not making sense or you want me to go over something more, I can. But that's core engagement in a nutshell. And I want us to be practicing that throughout the entire range of this challenge. Never forgetting engage, engage, engage. Okay? Never forget. All right. All right. So I'm opening up to you guys for questions. If y'all don't have any, that's all I got.
I don't have any. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome, love.
I
Okay.
think I have it as well.
Okay. Perfect. Good, good, good. All right, ladies. Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Get y'all steps in. Continue to be great. Y'all are doing excellent. Let's just keep moving our body the way we have a plan. Let's execute. Okay. All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.